All right, ladies and gents, Millennium Dawn is out, and I'm going to make more content on Millennium Dawn, okay? I hear you guys screaming about it. When's the Millennium Dawn videos? They're coming, all right? Chill your titties. Today, I want to talk a little bit how nukes work in this game and how to use them and how to actually make them to shoot them. So first of all, you need to research the actual missiles. There's several different kinds of rockets. There's like space rockets, there's cruise missiles, there's missile defense. All right, so here we go, guys. So ballistic missile technology, and there's three different kinds here. So we have intermediate range ballistics. We have I think these are long range ones, they're intercontinental ones here. And then we have the submarine launch ones. Here we go, from Trident here. These ones are launched from sub. So you probably want one of these two, which are going to be launched from surface to land onto surface. In this case, you'll research one of these rockets. If you look really closely and you click on each individual one, you can actually see the accuracy and the chance to get intercepted, for instance. You can see the more up-to-date technologies have a higher chance of actually successfully landing and successfully dealing damage. For step one, you need the actual shell of the missile research, which is under ballistic missile technology. Second, you need an actual warhead to be placed inside of the missile. So this is the explosive element of the rocket. So otherwise, it's just an empty shell that flies and hits something and then just kind of like, I guess, blows up in its own fuel, I suppose. But if it's got a warhead in it, like an explosive element or a nuclear warhead, that means that element will explode on impact, doing significantly more damage than just the actual raw hull of the missile. And that's where we have to click on the warhead and nuclear technology. So you are going to need nuclear material to make the actual warhead itself. So you need to research nuclear technology. I need to get the technology for the reactors, build some reactors, and then over time you can invest your civilian factories into making radioactive substances, which you can then make warheads with. And you can go for one of these three warheads. We've got thermonuclear, we have a nuclear warhead, a dirty bomb, and I think as you further go down, you got a neutron bomb, you have a mini nuke. The more advanced technology you do actually get, the more damage you can actually do. But don't forget too, you don't have to put a nuclear warhead inside of a missile as well. You can put a conventional warhead too, which you can see here, the high explosive ones, cluster bombs, incendiary bombs, and electromagnetic pulse. Very nice. So how do we construct all these bits and pieces then? So we have to go into this tab here, missiles, and then we can go into missile production. So in this case, you select what missile you want to produce, and here are the actual empty shells. So in this case, we'll produce a Peacekeeper. There we go. So we can produce 5 of these Peacekeeper ICBMs. It's going to take 900 days. That's a lot of missiles. And we are producing a really expensive one here. So I suppose we could just produce one 180 days, or we could produce something that's a lot cheaper. The land is this one 120 days. Very, very expensive missiles. Anyway, you get the gist of it. These missiles, these hulls are incredibly expensive. As you'd imagine, you have to plan ahead to produce these before you can actually construct them. The next part, you need to go into Missiles Launch Control Center. Here, you actually will assemble your missile. So here you would select the actual missile. In this case, we've got Trident ones here, which are fired from submarines. We have Minuteman ones, which are I think they're the medium range missiles. And with that, you would construct it. Then you would select a warhead. These are just conventional weapons, the high explosive ones. But if you click on this tab here, the one that's not very visible, you can select the actual nuclear warheads. If you can see this little icon here, it shows how much you've got in storage. You have 320 of these nuclear warheads in storage. But we're not going to do this at the time being. We're going to show you how to make the nuclear warheads. So if you go into the nuclear policy, and you can see at the very bottom here, you can see nuclear warhead production. Then you can select a warhead that you want to produce. You can say how many you want you build, and you can just click here to start building. That'll take 4 days to build those. What you'll need though is this amount here, weapons grade nuclear material. So you've got a choice here with the nuclear reactors that you built on the map. These will passively make either nuclear fuel or they will make nuclear, well, in this case, weapons grade nuclear material. You can see the ratios here. So you can say how many civilian factories you want to assign into the production of your refineries here. And you can say, do you want to be producing fuel? So in this case, 10% for fuel, which will produce 28 fuel per day. Or in this case, 90% of them will be producing nuclear weapons grade material. In this case, it will produce 0.16 kilograms per day. And then when you have stockpile it here, and then you use it to actually make the nuclear warheads themselves. 3, 2, 1, and boom. There you go. The actual warhead in itself is constructed. So in this case, we select the Minuteman missile. When we go back to the control panel for missiles, and we select the warhead in this case, which is this one we just produced here. Now you have to state the destination on where you're going to be firing the nukes from. So in this case, we're going to select Texas. And you can see here, at the bottom left, can you see this? So you can select this as a location to fire ICBMs, IRBMs, GLCMs, and HSCMs, and you click this, and now this is set as a location of where the nukes will be fired from when the certain triggers have been assigned when you fire them. So you can see it's grayed out now. So you've got the nukes, you've assembled them, and you've also got a location where you're going to fire the nukes actually from. Now you specifically have to set the location where you want them to land. In this case, just a little explanation here. So we have 480 of these in inventory, nukes of these kind. This will fire a single nuke, only one nuke, and this will state how many nukes are fired at once. Be aware that you're limited on how many nukes you can specifically fire at once based on how many actual launchers and silos you've actually got here. Back into construction again. You can see here, if you click on, there you go, ballistic missile silos, you can see there's only a minimum, there's 2 of them constructed here. I don't know how you make these go higher. Maybe it's a technology, but that means you can only fire 2 nukes from this per week. Anyway, what's the next point? The next point is you have to select a destination where these nuclear bombs are going to land. So we're going to click Mexico, and you can see this icon here. So basically it's saying that they'll be launched from Mexico, and then it will hit Mexico City. You've got the technology, you've constructed the nukes, you've assembled them, you've produced them, you've set where you're going to fire them, you've set where you're going to fire them to 2, and you get to hit the button here. I don't know why this is a Facebook icon. I have absolutely no idea. But you need to be at war with the nation you're going to declare war on. In this case, we're at war with Mexico, so we can fire the nukes. And now it's basically queued up to fire the nukes if it meets the specific conditions. In this case, we just need to wait for the nukes to fire. Be aware, nukes will only fire at the start of each week. So you might have to wait just a little while before the nukes actually do fire. Are we going to see one of them hit? Boom! The Americans have nuked Mexico. Amazing, right? And if you click on here, you can get a breakdown of what damage you've actually done. We've took 3 civilians out, 2 mills out, 2 infrastructure. As you'd imagine, nukes are very, very strong on Millennium Dawn. And this will continue to fire, by the way. So it's going to fire basically 1 nuke every week. But remember, you can set up more launch options. You don't have to stick with the ones you've actually already got. So if you go into here, you can set up another nuke, a Minuteman with a nuke. So we'll assign it here. We said that's where it's going to be fired from. Set where we're going to land it. In this case, we'll go for here and then hit fire. It will fire 2 nukes in 2 sets to land in this specific area. Be aware, there are anti-nuke mechanisms built, so nukes can get intercepted by other missiles as well. You can have a little look here to see how much damage those are actually doing. You can also see here if you've successfully landed a nuke, because it says specifically radiation. We'll go for a really powerful nuke. Got 98 of these ones. Thermonuclear, 1 megaton. We're going to fire these from Texas. We select how many we're going to fire. Number to be fired at once, we'll fire 2. Launch from Texas, land Mexico City, and then hit this button to say when you are able to fire. Then we need to wait to the start of the week. We're going to drop basically an incredibly powerful nuke on them. Oh my god, it's completely flattened them. America, fuck yeah. One final thing to note is probably another thing people are really confused about Millennium Dawn is how do you actually declare war? How do you get to war with Mexico? Now, the easiest thing to do is you need to change your foreign intervention law. So you either have to wait for world tension to get to a certain amount. I think as America, you have to have your own global intervention. So you need 15% world tension before you can start fabricating to declare war. It means you have to sit on your hands for a little while and wait for nations to create world tension. Or you can hop onto neo-imperialism. And to do that, you have to have an autocratic ruling party. You have to put from the pro-Western government onto one of the other government types, one that's autocratic. In this case, I'm a right-wing popularist. I think I've formed a coalition with a bunch of other right-wing autocrats, hence the reason why I have the ability to declare war. If you guys want me to make a video on how to flip ideology in Millennium Dawn, I can also do that one as well. So therefore, I can show you how to hop onto neo-imperialism. Everyone who loved this video also loved this one. Give it a click.